Hello and welcome to Herald TV News Bulletin with me, Orina. Four occupants of an SUV, the lady driver and three others died after their vehicle rammed into the railings of the Zuari Bridge and then plunged into the river. The bodies were recovered after a 4-hour rescue operation on Thursday by 1:30 p.m. The Indian Coast Guard, Navy, Fire and Emergency Services and Goa police personnel had launched a massive search operation. The bodies have been identified by relatives and brought to Goa Medical College for post-mortem.
The accident occurred around 12:45 a.m. on Thursday morning. The vehicle coming from Margao side swerved to the right side of the road and hit the bridge railings. The vehicle was reportedly being driven at a high speed. The SUV could not be traced at night. Nuve MLA Aleso Siqueira said the vehicle belongs to Priscilla Tavares Cruz of Lotari. The vehicle was located around 1 p.m. on Thursday and was salvaged by a crane and put onto a ferry boat. The bodies were then removed from the car and sent for post-mortem to GMC.
गाडी हिंग सगळे पूण एसोंग गेल चोय हिंग सगळे मार्किंग आहा हिंगा एसोंग गेली आनी डायरेक्ट थिंग पडली ती गाडी पूण हे हा तो कितको मोळ तो खबर ना पूण हिंगा गाडी चोय हे म्हण गेली
ओवरटेक कोत्ताल्या
हय ओवरटेक मान येयला गाडी आमी फकत आवाज आयकिला
व्हडला आवाज येयलो
मनीस आल्लो तो सांगतालो ते आयकिला आमी त्याच हांव मुखार सांगता पूण फकत हांवें आवाज आयकिला तो ढम कोण जाले मागीर चोयला हिंग फातर आसले रोडाचेर.
The families from Rotary. Because the car number is confirmed of that family. I'm told there are 3 jets and the lady.
Now, in a major tragedy, bodies of 4 persons, that means 3 men and 1 woman, were found in the car involved in the tragedy that took place at Zuari Bridge that shocked the entire state and the country this early morning. The overspeeding vehicle was reportedly hit by the side railings of the Zuari Bridge and plunged into the river. The car number is GA08K 8334 that plunged into the water from the Zuari Bridge late night at around 1 in the morning. Team Herald visited the spot at that moment and took this as their breaking news and broke this news, which created sensation, and lots of people gathered next morning to witness what was actually happened. Now, according to the information available, the fire service officials, the names of the deceased persons are Presley De Cruz, Henry Araujo, Alvin Araujo and Austin Fernandez. The dead bodies have been shifted to GMC for post-mortem. Several leaders as well as from the political side as well as other leaders came to the site, including some locals and visitors. The car belongs to Priscilla Cruz. The car is not the residence of the family. The members are not traceable. However, by evening, the car was fished out by nearly 3 to 4 in the afternoon. In this operations, not only the Navy was involved, but also the Coast Guard, the Indian Coast Guard, the Indian Navy, fire officials, police, and several others. The operation was almost solved within about 16 to 14 hours. But it took almost 12 hours, nearly 10 hours to identify the spot, exact location of where the car was. But by evening, everything was sorted. The car was fished out and the bodies were still inside the car. With the help of the crane, the car was fished out, and then once the car was landed on the crane boat, the bodies were taken out. The bodies that were in front were removed first, while the other 2 were taken later. This incident shocked the entire state. The Goa police, along with Coast Guard, barges, fire emergency, Indian Navy, Indian Coast Guard service personnel launched an operation to locate the vehicle. But this couldn't happen last night. That's why it happened in the morning, because of the darkness. Herald TV visited the spot once again. Here are the visuals that you can see the entire scene of what is happening. With Clinton D'Souza, Shagun Gowde, Kiran Borkar, Prasad Poji for Herald TV.
Sangay MLA Subhash Faldesa and a few supporters are firm on his decision to set up an IIT at Sangay. However, the farmers of Sangay are protesting against the IIT project on the agricultural lands in Kortali, Sangay. In fact, the farmers do not entirely oppose the project. Sangay being a large taluka, the farmers suggest that the MLA take it elsewhere without hurting the environment. To understand the plight of the Sangay farmers, Team Herald TV visited the farmers to understanding their plight if the government sets up an IIT there. Watch.
The farmers of Sangay are protesting against the IIT project on their agricultural land in Sangay. They requested that the government set up the IIT elsewhere. These farmers have been cultivating these fields for generations and have put in plenty of effort to cultivate the land. If an IIT is set up, farmers fear that the project could also have harmful effects on the environment. The farmers vow to protect their fields.
Today we visited Sangay. Sangay has come in the headlines with regards to the proposed IIT. There were several oppositions, and today Team Herald with myself came here to hear the voices from the people of Sangay to why they are opposing. All they say is that we do not oppose the IIT in Sangay. Take it somewhere else, but not through our fields. These farmers, at some point of time, we also saw tears in their eyes. Today we walked right from the main road until the end where the IIT is coming. The area is not very small, it's huge. We walked through the lanes, through the fields, up to the hill. And then we realized the value of this land. And then we also realized why these farmers are crying. All they said is again and again, we are not opposing it. We are with you. But do not take it from our fields.
गोवान सासमायन भरपूर वावर करून काजू बीन रोयलाय. कनालान तूं उदो व्हरोन वयर दोंगरा चोडून तेणें काजू व्हडले केलाय नियरली फॉर 50 years. ओके आतां आमगेलो MLA फुडें सरला हिंगा IIT हाडपा. हांवें ऑलरेडी एक्सप्लेन केलां IIT कित्या हिंग नाक तें आमगे इन्वायरमेंट एकदम बदलताले. दोंगर कातरीत जाल्यार आमकां सांग्यार फूल सांगें टावन वाऱ्यान वादळान काबार जातालें. लायक दुसरी कंट्रीन जाता तशें स्वातीन जाता तशें. सेकंड थिंग प्रायम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी सांगता डू अग्रिकल्चर, शेत रोया, हें रोया, environment काय हें कोन्न नाकाय. IIT is okay if he really wants to do. If he's after that IIT, he can do anywhere. हुई कोत्तो सांगे biggest तालुका म्हूण सांगला हें. It's a biggest तालुका. हुई वॉस जे सुवातेर फार्मरां दूख लागना तेशी बॅरीन लँड जायते आहा.
आनी म्हगे घोव धाकले आसतना शेतां येतालो. 7 वर्सां सावन तो जोत बांदतालो आनी ती 8 जाण भावणां. सो तांकां तें शेत पावना आसलें. सो तें इल्लेशें तें मोड्डी कातून तेणें व्हडलें शेत केलें आनी ती 8 जाण भावणां त्या शेताचेर येताय. आनी आज पासून आमी हें शेत रोयताय आनी आमी ह्या शेताचेर आमगे माड आहाय, माडी आहाय, सद्या रोयलो आहा तेजे वरवीं आमी जियेताय. तेजो आमचो डिस्पोट चलता आनी आमी त्या शेताचेर आमगे पोट भरताय. आनी हे शेतां IIT येयलें म्हूण आमी ओपोज ना. IIT तेणें खंयी वयला जाता पूण आमगे शेतां IIT येवपाक जायना.
आमची बापायच्या पांय गेली शेतां तेन्ना आमी तेजे फाटल्यान आमकां तेजे शेताचेर आमकां वयर काडले आनी आमी कितें करून जाल्यार ल्हान आसतना आमी शेतां आतां आमी करून कश्ट करून आमी वयर सरले. आतां जाल्यार कितें जालां आमचें कितें जाल्यार आमी फळावट रोयल्ले आसा. म्हणजे काजू घायले आसा, माडी घायले आसा, माड घायले आसा. तेन्ना आतां आमचें कितें करता हो आमदार आमचो सुभाष फळदेसाय आमच्या शेताचेर आड येता, आमच्या पोटार आड येता. आमकां काम ना धंदो तेजेर कितें आमचें उत्पन्न कितें येता तेजेर आमी कितें पोट भरपाचें. एक केळ्यांगोड जालो तो आमी बाजारांत दिलो तेजेर आमचें कितें घर चलयता आमी. तेन्ना आमकां ती आमी IIT ओपोज करना. आमकां IIT जाय, सांग्यार जाय, खंय हाड पूण आमच्या शेताचो बीन पेड्डर करून न्हू, एनवायरमेंट पेड्डर करून न्हू.
म्हाजो घोव आतां इतलीं वर्सां शेत रोयतालो हांगा आमी त्या शेताचेर आमी पोट भरता. म्हाजो घोव काम करिना तेन्ना हेका आमच्या शेताचेर तेणें कितेंच विरोध हें आमचें शेत आमचेलें आमकां जाय तेजेर तेणें शेताचेर कितेंच आमकां हें हाडचें ना. विरोधाक तेणें मुखार येवचें न्हय शेताचेर आमच्या. आमचो आमी शेत रोवन आत्तां आमच्या शेताक कितें जालां फक्त गोरवां येता म्हणून आमी आतां हे 7-8 वर्सां आमकां शेत रोवपाक मेळना. आमी रातची शेत रोवन म्हाजो घोव आनी हांव हांगा न्हिदतालीं. शेत लिवलें म्हणटकीर रातची सुद्दां मयणी फाल्यां सातडीर घालतली म्हणल्यार रातची येवन गोरवां खातली म्हणून आमी येवन हांगा न्हिदतालीं. इतले आमी त्रास काडले. आमचें शेत आमकां राखून दवरपाक जाय. आमी शेतां दिवची ना. तुमी खंय IIT करा, आमचो विरोध ना.
आमी आयज शेत रोय पुर्तुगेज टायमासान हें शेतां रोवन मागीर पायच्यातल्यान आमी रोय सांबाळून दवरल्या आनी आज पुरान आमी रोयताय आनी खाताय जेयताय खाताय ते शेताक वचताय आनी आज तें आमकां जायना तेन्ना आमचें भुरग्यां आमकां सांबाळून दवरलां आं जाल्यार तुमी तर अशें करता जाल्यार तें शेतान उरतलें कशें ना न्हू आमी केश फुडाराक रोवपा मेळटलें ना पूण वतलें मागीर आमी कितें खावपाचें जाल्यार तेणें आतां आमकां नाल्यार पयलीं तेणें आमकां सांगपा आहलें तेणें आमकां डायरेक्ट सांगलें आपल्या रुमार व्हरून तुमी कितें सांगपाचें तुमगे कितें करपाचें बासाबास आपूण करता म्हणून जाल्यार तेणें आमी थोड्या लोकां भितर घेवन तेणें हें केलें आनी मागीर तेंची मिटींग घायली वयर
येवन लोकांक फुसलावन ह्या प्रोजेक्टाक आडवेळी अपशकून करपाचो प्रयत्न करचो न्ही आमचे जे आयज हांगा 1000 लोक ह्या सभागृहान आनी सभागृहा भायर गर्दी करून आसात ते तितक्याच ताकदीन आमी IIT हाडपा खातीर वावुरतले दीस गेले की IIT विरोध करपाचे रस्ते भरपाचे शक्य जालें तर जाय हांगाच्यान 3, 4, 5 हजार लोक सान्या वेल्यान सगळो रस्तो भरून IITच्या कॅम्पसा कडेन पर्यंत रावपाची ताकद आमी दवरया जीत आमी दवरया तुमचे सगळ्यांचे सहकार्य म्हाका जाय आनी सानेचो उदरगत करपा खातीर ही आमी करूया
हांव जेन्ना 3rd इयरान आशिल्लें त्या वर्सा IIT गोंयांत आयली आनी आमी आमचो जीसीचो कॅम्पस IIT बरोबर शेअर केलो म्हाका पयलीं म्हाजी 2 वर्सां आनी म्हाजी IIT गोवान येतकूच आमी जीसीचो कॅम्पस IIT गोवा बरोबर शेअर करतकूच मागीरची 2 वर्सां अशी म्हाका दोनी डिफरन्स खबर आसा की थंय कितें आनी कशें डेव्हलपमेंट जालें हांव पयलींच्यान सुरू करता 2 मिनटां एक्स्ट्रा घेतले पूण खरें सांगता म्हाजो स्वताचो एक्सपिरियन्स.
This is Clinton D'Souza with Prasad Polji for Herald TV.
Nerul villagers blocked the road and demanded the immediate dismantling of the mobile network tower which was erected overnight at Nerul Market, Bardes. Villagers threatened to continue to keep the road blocked until authorities order the immediate dismantling of the tower.
Locals from Nerul gathered at the location on Thursday morning and demanded immediate dismantling of the tower, claiming that they don't want it in the residential or market area. The villagers blocked the road. The villagers also threatened to continue and keep the road blocked until any authority orders immediate action on the tower and the mobile company. They further threatened to protest if the tower was not immediately taken off. Villagers argued with the telecom company officials, stating that they were misled by saying that the work was for borewell was going on and when the reality was for installation of a mobile tower. Since the tower is installed near a school, it will have adverse effect on the health of the children here, the villagers said. Watch.
या क्षणाक हो निर्णय घेतलेलो हा कितें तरी बायलां आमची म्हणटा सगळी कित्याक बायलां इज द कमांडर ऑफ आमच्या घराचो घराबो सगळो कित्याक ती बरी आसली सुदृढ आसली जाल्यार आमचें घर चलतलें फाल्यां सकाळीं आमचें भुरगें तरी डिफेक्ट जालें फाल्यां सगळें गिरेजीच्या गांवांत दिलें फाल्यां गिरेज म्हणटा बाबा कितें रे तुवें डिफेक्टीव दिलां मागीर ते इलेक्शन हें आमकां नील्ली घराचें नांव पिड्यार करता नील्ली घराचें नांव आमचें झेंडो घोल सदांच उजो आनी तो आमी झेंडो उबो धरतलो हो डिसमेंटल जाले शिवाय आमी हांगाले उठचे ना हो आमचो निर्णय.
लायटीचो खांबो घालता म्हणून जेन्ना हो आमकां निलान टावर नाका टावर नासतना आमच्या निलान दोतोर जाले इंजिनियर जाले एडवोकेट जाले शिकोवन तेन्ना आमचो हे सगळ्या बायलांचो सगळ्या गांवचो हांगासर विरोध आहा टावराक तेन्ना तेंच्यांनी बेग्यानच्या बेग्यान आयच्या आयज तो टावर काडचो आमकां मामलेदारान गेल्यार तिणी सांगले आपूण येता फाल्यां पळयता म्हणून तुमचो गांवचो लोक आहा तितले आयकून सांग म्हणून ती आमकां सांगनासतना हांगासर येयली पळयली आनी गेली आमकां तिणी कांयच उत्तर दिवंक ना.
तेंच्यांनी ते आयज कितें आसा तें डिसिजन सांगतले म्हणून पूण आजून हे डिसिजन तेंच्यांनी दिवना तेका लागून सगळे लोक परते हांगा जमल्या पयलाच तरी सगळ्याच्यान सगळी बायल मनीस ह्या गांवची येवन हांगा बसलेली आसा. म्हाका तेंकां एकूच विचारपाची हें आसा की जेन्ना गांवांनी टावर घालतात ते आनी टावर घालच्या पयलीं लोकल जी बॉडी आसता तांकां कॉन्फिडन्सान घेवपाचें आसता तेजे लोकल लोक आसा तांकां कॉन्फिडन्सान घेवपाक जाय ते म्हणजे खंय टावर बांदता हें इम्पॉर्टंट तांकां दाखोवपाक जाय. जेन्ना हांगा एक्सकवेशन म्हाका दिसता वर्क चालू केलेलो तेन्ना पयलीं लोकांक सांगलें तेंच्यांनी की हांगा ते बोरवेल मारता म्हणून मागीर जसो जसो तो खड्डो वाडत गेलो तेन्ना तांकां सांगलें की सेप्टीक टँक मारता म्हणून आनी आतां फायनली तेंच्यांनी पळयला आसतलें तो कॉन्क्रीट बेस तयार करून रातच्या राती 2:30 तेंच्यांनी काम चालू केलां आणि टावर आता येदो व्हडलो घातला. अजून ते सांगतात की आमी हो टावर ऑपरेशनल करचे ना म्हणून. जर ऑपरेशनल करचे ना जाल्यार म्हाका दिसता हेंच्यांनी आतांच्या आतां डिसमेंटल करपाची गरज आसा.
It is Ashmita Polji for Herald TV.
Perne police conducted a flag march in Perne in view of the upcoming Goa Panchayat elections. Police said no illegal acts will be tolerated since the model code of conduct is in force. They also cautioned liquor sellers not to sell liquor to those who will misuse it for election purposes. Police told the bar owners that bars should be closed by 10 p.m.
DYSP Siddhant Shirurkar, Perne Police Inspector Dattaram Raut, Mopa Police Inspector Mahesh Kerkar and others were part of the squad. Police said they will not allow any untoward incident during elections.
Today we have conducted some kind of a called as a flag march to impress upon the people that we will not tolerate any illegal acts. Model code of conduct is in force. We have also briefed the bar owners and the wholesalers not to get involved in selling alcohol to people who will use it for election purposes, and also not to violate the timings given by the respected district magistrate.
Sir, timing किती असतं sir?
The notification is issued and we have explained the notification to them. Also we have gone and briefed some shop owners. We have checked scrapyards. We have gone and visited certain restaurants, and we have visited certain persons who are likely to create law and order issues during the elections, and they have been warned and explained the repercussions. So in Perne and Mandre, we have panchayat elections in 10 panchayats, and we are not going to allow any untoward incident to happen in our area, whoever and whatsoever means.
Makbul for Herald TV.
Perne police team conducted a raid at Naibag Perne on 28th July 2022 and seized liquor of different brands worth approximately rupees 30,000, which was being illegally transported without any valid documentation. The seized liquor being handed over to Excise Department, Perne. The raid was conducted by PI Dattaram Raut, PSI Vivek Haralankar, PC Yogesh Gaunkar, PC driver Vinod Naik and PC driver Vinci Dias.
Perne police team conducted a raid at Naibag Perne on 28 July 2022. Police seized liquor of different brands worth approximately 30,000 rupees, which was being transported. Bureau Report, Herald TV.
A Jersey cow was found lying in the water channel in Kasarwane in the middle of the night. The fire brigade was informed about this at midnight. The fire services rushed to the spot without wasting time. After a lot of struggle, the cow was finally rescued by the fire brigade.
A Jersey cow was rescued in Kasarwane, Perne. The cow was trapped in a pit at around midnight. The fire services rushed to the spot and rescued the cow.
So, अशें जालें की समज ती गाय जी आसा पळय ती समजा तशी सांडून येयली जाल्यार ती मरूं शकता आसले. सो पूण म्हजो ड्युटी क्रू आसा पळय तेंच्यांनी ताका उदक प्रोवायड केलें आनी थोडें कितें खावपाचें थंय कितें ग्रास आसा पळय तें मातशें कट करून तेजेर घातली. आमी ड्युटी क्रू सकाळीं 4:30 थंयच्यान येयले आनी 5 स्टेशनार पावले. परत 5:30 सुमार आमी ताजी JCB येयली म्हणून परत थंय गेले. सो ड्युटी क्रू थंय गेलो आनी वीथ द हेल्प ऑफ JCB आमचे रोप जे आसा डिफरंट रोप्स आसा आनी पेडणे फायर स्टेशना बरोबर जे स्टाफ आसा सुनील देसाय आसलो, विठ्ठल परब, राजेश परब, विकास चव्हाण आनी म्युनिसिपालिटीचे लेबर दिले आमकां जे डिजास्टर मॅनेजमेंटांतले दिता वर्सां ते लेबर आसले आनी हे इतले जे लेबर आनी म्हाजो स्टाफ जो आसा तेज्या एफर्टान आमी ती गाय जी आसा ती सेफली रेस्क्यू केली.
Makbul for Herald TV.
And in sports, Damdole defeated Sporting Club the Virabat by 7-6 goals in a penalty shootout and moved into the next round of the 4th Kumborda Sports Club football tournament organised by Kumborda Sports Club at St. Alex Church Ground, Kurturi on Wednesday. Man of the match was awarded to Jovito from Sporting Club the Virabat.
Ryan's well-struck shot was saved by Virabat goalkeeper Jovito. It was a goalless draw at half-time. After the lemon break, Rice missed a golden opportunity to give a lead to Sporting Club the Virabat. His short-range shot went over the bar. In the penalty shootout, Savio Lutz, Rice, Richard, Laurie, Sydney scored for the Sporting Club the Virabat. James, Alliston, John, Vicky, Vinci, Aston, Frasley scored for Damdole. For Herald TV.
San Jose de Ariel defeated Goan Warriors Sports Club TV 2-0 and moved into the quarter-final of the 23rd All Goa Our Lady of Mercy's 8-a-side Inter-Village Tournament 2022 played at Our Lady of Hope Church Ground, Shishini.
Milton Gomendis of San Jose de Ariel scored the first goal of the match in the 15th minute. Goan Warriors controlled the game and came close to equalize, but Pratik hit the crossbar. In the 42nd minute, Milton Gomendis scored his second and gave San Jose de Ariel a 2-0 lead. Goan Warriors could not find a target. Clifford Suarez and Myron Silva of San Jose de Ariel and Goan Warriors Pratik Kale were given yellow cards.
व्हॉलंटियर्स कुपनां घेऊन भोंवतात. कुपनांचे मोल जावन आसा फकत 10 रुपया आनी इनाम जावन आसा 1,500 रुपया. आनी जोरी तर तुजी हावजी 5 बॉलां भितर जाली जाल्यार 2,000 रुपया. तर हांव समजता तुमी एकूण.
Ignacio Norona for Herald TV.
Qualifying matches at the Yonex Sunrise All India Sub-Junior Ranking Badminton concluded after 4.5 days of exciting action at the Manohar Parrikar Indoor Stadium, Navili and Multipurpose Stadium, Fatorda, the two venues for the qualification rounds.
Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant inaugurated the Yonex Sunrise All India Sub-Juniors Ranking Badminton Tournament 2022 on Wednesday. The main draw started on Wednesday. Chief Minister Dr. Sawant presented Promising Player Awards to Goa's top-ranked players. Harsh Mane, Yash Desai, Shaheen CK and Arush Pavaskar were awarded Promising Player Awards. The 8-day national ranking tournament enters the last 3 days. The finals of the tournament are scheduled on July 30th. Ignacio Norona for Herald TV.
And that's all we have in today's news bulletin. Thanks for watching Herald TV News. For more news alerts, please follow us on Heraldo on Facebook and Twitter. Take care and goodbye.